This is Manchester Voices, a podcast run by students at the University of Manchester.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Manchester Voices. I'm your host, Dorsa. I'm a final year biotech student, and today I'm joined with...
My name's Ella. I'm a second year sociology student.
And I'm Ruby, and I'm a first year physics student.
Welcome, guys. So my fun fact for the day is the first woman to join the University of Manchester faculty was Marie Stopes back in the 1900s. And she became the person that opened the first birth control clinic in Britain.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Yeah, my fun fact of the day is that it was only in 2019 that there was only one statue of a woman in the whole of Manchester, and that was Queen Victoria. And that was only in 2019. Then afterwards, they sort of implemented more. But isn't that crazy? There's so many statues in Manchester, and it was only in 2019 that
It's crazy.
it was more than one woman. That's like not long ago at all.
Not long ago at all.
No.
That's crazy.
No.
My fun fact of the day is that Dame Christabel Pankhurst was a graduate from law at the uni, and she was one of the first suffragettes.
That's quite a nice one. And we have a building actually named after her.
Mm-hmm.
So, happy International Women's Day, guys.
Happy International Women's Day.
What is
Excited.
international?
Go.
Cutting you off.
No,
Shut
no.
up. You're just a woman.
It's done.
Go on.
I was just going to say how exciting it is, International Women's Day.
It's quite a nice day.
very
I think it's a
exciting.
necessary
I always
one.
have fun. It's a cute day.
Men should give me £5 because it's International Women's Day.
I
Only
agree with
Every
that.
man.
Do you guys ever do something for International Women's Day?
I don't think I've ever actually done anything on the day.
No, I don't think I have.
No, I feel like we should. We should
We
arrange something to go on.
We
'Cause I
should
feel
make
like
it a big celebration.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I feel like it's
Should be
a
like a
cute day to
parade.
celebrate.
We should get like pink fireworks.
Oh.
Like multicoloured fireworks.
Yeah.
Maybe not pink, maybe that's a bit reinforcing gender stereotypes.
Oh gosh.
But like pink is a good colour.
I
It's
do
a great
like the
colour.
Like
pink.
when
I
they're
love
the
pink.
really pink, like pinky orange fireworks.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what does International Women's Day mean to you guys?
I think it's like celebrating being a woman and your experiences and uplifting the experience of yourself and others and sharing your experience with those around you who might not relate or understand it.
Mhm. Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like it's celebration and just like also just a day to like appreciate the women around you. I feel
Yeah.
like we don't often like take into consideration like how impactful they can be on our lives. So I feel like it's definitely celebrations, but then I also feel like we should take as a day to sort of look at the differences of women throughout the world. So it's
Yeah.
like whilst we celebrate, we also need to like shed light on how unfortunately not everyone is in the same situation.
That's such a good point. When I think of International Women's Day, I kind of only think about like, you know, famous women in history like Amelia
Yeah.
Earhart, Rosalind Franklin. I never really think about like, oh, the women who are like in my life right now, or women who are like not as famous, or just women as like a population on the planet. I've never thought about people close to me.
Yeah.
That's such a good point.
Yeah, or even yourself. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like even on yourself on International Women's
That's a
Day,
good
like this
point.
is also a day for you. It's not. Yeah, I feel like what you
I
were saying,
am a
you
woman.
shouldn't. Yeah, you are a woman.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Clarification.
Validation.
Yeah, I feel like it's just a cute day, and I feel like it's always cute if you like have a female friendship group. You can like get together and do like a cute dinner or like cute drinks and like little girls' night out. It's like always my favorite thing to do.
Like a Galentine's, but in March.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Galentine's is so cute.
I
It's the
love
best.
Valentine's.
It's actually the best.
It is very, very cute.
It's better than normal Valentine's in my
So
opinion.
much better.
Or maybe I'm just salty, but
Controversial.
controversial. So when you think about International Women's Day, what women do you think of that inspire you or, you know, make you proud to be a woman?
I think my first thought is my mum.
Okay.
Just because she's always been there for me, like, through every stage of my life. If I ever need help, I can talk to her. She's an insanely, amazingly cool woman, just in general.
Slay.
She's mental. She's been at uni like 3 times.
Ooh.
Oh my
She's had
gosh.
like 2 careers. She's so cool.
What did she study?
Wow.
She did nursing for a year, and then she did physiotherapy, was a physio for a while, and then went back to uni to learn to be a teacher, and now she's a teacher.
That is amazing.
Gosh.
My
She's
mom's
She's
a
such
teacher.
a cool woman.
She's lived so many different lives.
She has.
I love that. She's like Barbie.
Yeah.
My mum is Barbie.
Oh my goodness. You know what? Barbie inspires me. And not
Yeah.
even like as a joke. I'm
No,
serious.
but like,
No,
yeah.
yeah. I think for me, I saw Barbie be so many different things, and that I didn't take that to mean, oh, I could be anything. I took that to mean that I could be everything at once.
Yes.
Gosh, that was so
thank you, Barbie.
inspirational. Yeah,
Thank
no, I
you.
love
Thank you, Barbie.
Thank you, Barbie.
Yeah, I feel like as well, sort of my mum is always the first one that comes to mind, and my
Is it your-
gran.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, what's the difference between those two?
My mum is like my mother, and
Okay.
like my grandmother.
Okay.
So,
Sorry.
like, yeah.
I thought ma'am was like grandma.
Oh no, my mum. Well, from Wales, I assume.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone says mam for like their mum, or like
Okay.
their mother. So yeah, my mum definitely. She's very, very cute. Love her. Yeah, I mean, she was a single mother quite young,
Okay.
and yeah, just everything she does, I'm like, oh my god, queen, like love her. She recently got a new job, so like,
Ooh.
well done to my mum.
win.
Exactly. And yeah, then my gran is like honestly just the most like graceful woman I've ever met in my life. She is just like everything I want to be when I'm older. She wanted to be a nurse, and I know she wanted to go to like the Navy and all these things, but sort of like her life didn't pan out that way, unfortunately. But she just has so many aspirations and like goals still. And like, yeah, I feel like for women, there's always seems to be like a cut-off point of like, okay, you've hit this age now, like you can't do anything.
Your biological clock has run
Yeah,
out.
it's time for you to stop doing everything you
Yeah.
enjoy. Whereas my gran like swims every day. She like goes to yoga, Pilates.
Oh
Like
my
she is
gosh.
like, yeah.
Oh, amazing.
No, I know.
I'm sorry, you said that, and I just got this picture of like this really buff woman with like grey hair. Like that's just what's in my head now. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, no, she's a fitness queen. She does it all.
That is amazing.
That's
That is inspiring.
amazing.
That is actually inspiring.
Yeah.
I need to go back
love
to the
that.
gym now.
Yeah, I think personally, obviously my mom really inspires me. She was such a young mom as well. Probably not as young as most moms in her generation, but she was a mom when she was around my age, which is crazy to me.
I know, that's always insane. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, when you hit the age that like your mother had you, it's
Or like got married, I'm like,
like what?
oh my god, like I could not do that. She
Yeah,
was just a
no.
child. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
she was a mom so young, and she has done amazing things. She's a teacher, and I just know that she changes so many kids' lives. She has so many parents that come and appreciate her, and so many kids that come out of her classes like so much better, and I think she is an amazing woman for it. So shout out to all of our moms.
Exactly.
Shout out to all the mums of
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah, being a mom is hard. My sister is also a mom, and I did not realize how hard being a mom is until I saw like my sister become one. Because obviously, I'm the youngest one, so I didn't really see my
Yeah.
mom be a mom because she was already a mom, you know.
Yeah.
But seeing my sister transition to being like a woman, to being a mom who is a woman who is a mom, it was crazy, and it is so hard. So shout out to all moms.
Shout out to the
Shout out
mums.
to every mum.
Yeah. Any famous women who inspire you?
I think, like, the main one for me as a physics student is all of the women in physics who get overlooked
Yeah.
and who are very rarely mentioned. So the one that I think sticks out the most for me is Henrietta Leavitt. She was hundreds of years ago now at this point, like 150 years ago, she discovered this type of star called Cepheid variable stars, which we now use to measure distances to galaxies. And so almost the whole reason why we know like how far away things are, which leads to a lot of theories about the universe, is due to her, because she did all that data by hand and she was the person that discovered it.
And no one
And,
talks about her.
And it's very rarely mentioned. Like, she was brought up in our lecture when we learnt about it, and then she's just stuck in my head. I think that's cool.
If she was a
Cool.
man, she'd have like buildings named after her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But she doesn't.
Similarly, I have two. One was a bit a generic.
Okay.
Taylor Swift.
You're Swiftie.
I am. Are you?
I'm going to see her in June
Where? When?
in Cardiff. June
Okay.
19th. Yeah.
I'm seeing her in Liverpool.
Oh my god.
Oh, my cousin's
Swifties.
going to see it in Liverpool.
Might see her. Trade some friendship bracelets.
Yeah.
But Taylor Swift is very inspiring for me personally. I don't shut up about her.
Fair
But
enough.
I think she's a great businesswoman, first of all.
Yeah, she is.
I think the fact that she is in a male-dominated field, like business, marketing, music, the whole industry. It's very male-dominated. And I think the way she has broken record after record, and now she's just breaking her own records.
Yeah.
There is no record left for her to break that isn't her own. And I think that is amazing.
As someone who isn't a Swiftie personally, I do think it is really insanely cool how massive and talented she really is.
Yeah, she is insane. I also feel like just the hate she gets is like so uncomparable to anyone else in the industry, and I never really understand why, because like she's like, what has she actually done wrong?
She's a woman.
She is a woman. That is the issue everyone has.
Yeah. And she's enjoyed by women.
Yeah.
I think if she was a woman enjoyed by men, I don't think she would get the same hate.
I feel like also a lot of the hate she gets is like she's doing the same thing that male singers do, but she's a woman, so it's controversial and wrong.
And I feel like as well, like there's always hate towards anything that's enjoyed by a female audience.
Yeah.
It's like if it's targeted towards a lot of girls, then it's like hated. It's the same, like you see it all the time in the music industry. I think like if you take just boy bands in general, like boy bands are so frowned upon because it's normally like teenage girls.
Exactly.
Who
I
enjoy
have been
them.
saying that forever.
And then it's always deemed as like cringe and like, oh god, like One Direction I feel like is the biggest example. Like their big fan base was teenage girls.
I've been saying that forever. That's such a true fact. Like anything that becomes like girl dominated or enjoyed by teenage girls, it becomes like deemed as like cringe or like, you know, it's just a teenage girl thing.
I know.
It's like
I know, but yeah, I feel like quite similarly mine's Beyonce.
I love that.
I love like
Beyonce.
the love of my life. Like I really love Beyonce.
That's so fair.
Yeah, I would just like love to concept, but I just feel like her like work ethic and her like drive and determination is just like so out of this world. So whenever I watch any video of Beyonce, I'm always like, oh my god, I need to like do something. I need to get up and like write a book or something.
For some reason, I barely know anything about Beyonce. Like I know 2 of her songs, Halo and Single Ladies. Although I do really respect her and her fan base.
Yeah, no, I love Beyonce.
I love her song "Run the World." Girls.
Oh, that is what I know as well. Yeah.
I was gonna say there's loads of Beyonce
like,
songs that like you probably do know just like from the background. Yeah.
And it's like I need a bit of hyping up. Who runs the world, girls? Which is very appropriate.
Can I just do that like on beat, like 3, 2, 1? Who runs the world, girls? Thank you. Thank you for indulging me.
You're welcome.
Similar to you, I also have a scientist that I look up to. I discovered her when I was making a video for International Day of Women in Science. Is that a thing?
Yeah,
I think
I made a video about it, so I should know. I made a video about that last month, and there was when I came across Paradis Sabati. She's Iranian. So first of all, she's Iranian. Hurdle. She's a woman. Hurdle. She comes from like a very unrepresented background where there's not like a lot of inclusivity in, and that of course is already very inspiring, but also she has made so many algorithms for detecting evolution and tracing evolution in disease, in species, in bacteria, and it makes me so shocked that no one talks about her, because I know if this was a man who developed all these algorithms that are so widely used, his name would be plastered everywhere, and it just shocks me. It just shocks me, especially because she is from a minority background. How do people not know about her more?
Yeah,
it's really sad.
It is. It's so bad. It's always a thing of like women are like time and time again unwritten out of history, and it's sort of like they do all these groundbreaking things and then it's like never talked about again,
or they're
like,
stolen from.
That's what I was just about to say. Or like their idea will just be like tied to a man's name who had like nothing to do with what they actually achieved.
It reminds me
Rosalind
of like
Franklin.
yes, I was going to say Rosalind Franklin. I feel like now, because I feel like they even started mentioning it like to us at GCSE biology, like, but I feel like more people now know her name. Yeah. But it makes you think how many people are like that who we don't know their names.
I mean,
like one I can think of is Albert Einstein, right? Famous, incredible general relativity, special relativity, like theory of gravity, black holes, like a bunch of stuff. His wife helped him with loads of that stuff, and I don't even know her name because she's always referred to as Einstein.
No, that's Shakespeare. I was gonna say Anne Hathaway.
Close.
I'm thinking of like Anne Hathaway, the actress. She's like, I'm doing general relativity.
She could. She's such a slay.
She could. I love Anne.
I love Anne Hathaway. She inspires me, actually.
She has
She
range.
does inspire
She
me.
is
does.
a
Oh, yeah.
girl boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Einstein's wife, I don't even know what her name is,
Yeah.
because it's always Einstein did all these theories, and then it was mentioned to us in a lecture the other week because of the International Day of Women in Science and Technology, and they were like, oh, Einstein and his wife.
Yeah.
She also helped. She was there for a lot of what he worked on.
Going back to experience at university.
yeah.
My experience has been kind of in between your guys's. So I do science, I do biotech, but also biosciences as a whole is very female dominated. But because biosciences are so female dominated, they get written off as the easy science. And that really annoys me.
Yeah.
People will, like, from other courses, men, they will talk down on me, telling me my course is easy, that it's just very simple, it's biology, like, it's not hard, anyone could do
Biology is
it.
so hard.
Yeah.
Yes. I can say from first-hand experience,
Yeah.
yes, it is.
I respect you so hard for that.
I respect
like,
you
that
so
is
hard.
so
I respect you so
hard.
hard. Even like non-STEM subjects, because they're female dominated, they get
That's
written
the
off.
Yeah,
as not
actually,
easy.
I was gonna say
It's not hard.
there's you notice, like, you talk about women in STEM, and I feel like there's a subconscious bias where we don't consider it real science in massive quotes, because it's obviously real science, if you don't do maths dominated science.
Yeah.
Like, physics is mainly maths. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
I do maths all day.
It's applied math.
It's just maths. Like, sociology, psychology, social sciences, it's a lot less maths. Obviously, maths is still a huge part of
Yeah.
it, but it's way less maths. And so I feel like I'm trying to address it with myself, because I know that I do it as well, but I view it as lesser than other sciences like physics, chemistry, biology, which
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
really maths based. And so there's this joke of like being a woman in STEM, or being a girl in STEM, or being in diet STEM, which I'm like, just because you don't do maths doesn't mean you're not
Yeah.
a scientist. It just means you chose a better science field where you have to do less math.
Or
And
just
I'm
less
jealous of you.
studying. Because
Yeah.
like biology, psychology, a lot of these degrees that are like seen as less than engineering, math, physics, you have to do a lot of studying and like learning to break into the industry, because it is very difficult. It is such niche topics, and you have to like very much specialize in one single topic, and that can take like a PhD, a postdoc, whatever is after a postdoc. It takes a lot of education, which is not easy, and it's very annoying that it gets written off as the easy subject.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I feel like I've like honestly sort of like grown to like be embarrassed when I tell certain people what I study, because it's like, well, as soon as I say sociology, their face is always like, oh, like, okay, like it's always seen as like not a real degree, or like you don't do any work, or like it's not good enough. But like that's exactly what we learn about, like it's early socialization. That's why girls go into sort of humanities subjects, and then it's seen as not as impressive as sort of boys who typically go into more maths-based subjects. But it is just like such a bad divide.
Yeah,
It
I feel
is.
like with like humanities especially, it is viewed as so much easier.
Yeah,
Where it's like,
is.
oh, you do English, you read all day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't do any work.
Yeah.
I took IB history for 1 week and I couldn't do it. Humanities are very difficult.
Humanities are so intense, because like the maths in STEM is just maths. Once you know the process, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Humanities, you have to memorize that stuff and know that stuff, and like writing essays, like
you have to go
Yeah.
deep into like lenses and
Yeah, you
criticism.
think.
Ugh.
I have so much respect for humanities students.
Anyone who can just like quote Sigmund Freud or like any like Socrates or whatever, I have so much respect for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. It's just always seen as like, yeah, just like the lesser off sort of subjects, because it is female dominated. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind.
And it's important to recognize that is why they are seen as lesser
Yeah.
than.
Oh, definitely.
If they were male dominated, like for example, philosophy is very like thought of to be very difficult, you know, like some guy named Plato thought, oh my God, we have like thoughts.
Yeah.
Let's put that
We
to
think.
use. We
Yeah.
think. We're alive. Now, if women dominated that field, it'd just be like, oh, it's just like,
Thinking.
Thinking,
You do
yeah.
a degree in thinking.
you do agree. Exactly.
And the other thing as well is, in humanities, men that do humanities, especially like music, drama, musical theatre, things like that, are seen as like wusses or like sissies.
Feminine men.
Or
yeah.
like lesser men
Yeah.
because they do feminine subjects.
Yeah.
Even though music doesn't have gender, a book doesn't have gender. Like,
Yeah.
everyone can think, everyone
very annoying.
could choose to do anything.
Yeah, I feel like as well, I
Insane.
guess, like it's not even just like in academics that this happens. Like, I was thinking about this the other day, is even in like how you exercise and like sports. Like, I read an article the other day which is about the feminization of Pilates and sort of how that's not taken seriously at all, because
No, Pilates
it's,
is
No, it's
yoga.
not.
because it's like a female founded sort of exercise, even though Pilates is really difficult.
Pilates is so hard.
and it is really intense, but
It
sort
is
of,
so
like,
intense.
so intense. But you would like men just sort of disregard it. Like, if you're not lifting weights, then you're not like properly exercising, or you're not doing like impressive
If you're not kicking a
exercising.
ball
Yeah.
or
I used to
tackling
go
others with the
to-
ground.
Or running.
I used to go to Pilates classes with my mum, and it would be a room of like, at like a gym. So it was a lot of like middle-aged women, and then a couple of really elderly gentlemen, and then like I was the youngest person in the class.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's such a good workout.
No, it's
like
so
you get
good.
so strong.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of things, personally or just like systemically, would you guys want to achieve
I
as a
think
woman?
since I knew what a PhD was, I've wanted to do a PhD.
Slay.
And I want to do that. And especially in physics, the ratio of like female academics and professors is really low. And so it would be really cool if within my lifetime that number could actually stabilize and be about equal.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, my like first like greatest achievement, I suppose, was like getting into university. Like, I literally never thought that would even
Definitely,
be
yeah.
possible. Because like the only person in my like immediate family that went to university was my brother, and then I'm literally the first woman to
Amazing.
like go to university.
Big
so I was
slay.
like, oh my gosh!
Yay!
I was quite proud. Thank you. But yeah, I definitely want to get into like, I'm looking into sort of creative writing.
Ooh.
But sort
We
of
both had the exact same reaction.
Ooh. Yeah, but because I used to do sort of article style things about sort of female issues. Like when we used to do Welsh Baccalaureate in school, my sort of topic was on FGM and like sort of more serious female topics. But I sort of want to tackle the like, whilst we've come so far in this country, so to speak, there is so many countries throughout the world where it's like, unfortunately, issues such as FGM or like child marriages are still happening. So sort of doing work researching things like that.
Sorry, can you define FGM? I don't know what that is.
No, FGM is female genital mutilation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's actually, unfortunately, still a practice in many, many countries. And it just, first of all, it's awful just within itself, but it's just so many complications sort of down the road. And like the oranges is to sort of like preserve a woman's like purity for like a man. But it's always done between the ages of like 7 and 12, I think, are the main sort of ages for this to happen.
Okay.
So
really
yeah,
sad.
sort of research on topics such as that, and then sort of articles to shed light and things like that is definitely my goal.
Okay. I love that for you.
Yeah.
What's
thank you.
yours?
First of all, I want to get a master's.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be able to enter the industry, the biotech industry. But I don't want to like just do one thing. I kind of want to be Barbie and I want to do everything. I want to do like medical
are
writing.
Barbie.
You are Barbie, yes.
Thank you guys. I want to do like medical writing. I want to do like science communication, content creation. I want to combine like this role that I have with like my degree, make like content about science.
Yeah.
And I want to work in the lab. I want to do research. I want to like analyze data. I want to like do presentations, go to conferences, give presentations. Did I say that already? I want to like do a lot. I want to do everything. Yeah, I don't want like just one thing. I want to be able to do everything at the same time.
Yeah, I think actually similar. I would love to be able to communicate my love of physics and my love of science with the world.
Yeah.
Which I think
Yeah.
is a little bit ironic because obviously Brian Cox, biggest physics presenter ever, literally lectures at Manchester, and I've had
Yeah.
lectures with him, and now I'm like, I want to be him.
Can you tell me where
I'm
his
gonna
next
write.
lecture is? I kind of want to.
Next year.
Sneak in.
Next
Oh
year?
my gosh.
Yeah, he
Taking a break.
Graduated by then.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about like systemic achievements in terms of feminism? What do you want to see from the world that you aren't seeing right now?
I would like to see women being treated the same way as men, which I think on the most part people think is what's happening. But as we talked about earlier, it's definitely not.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd like to be viewed with the same adjectives as a man. Like, I speak my mind and I'm bossy. Like, and a man does it and he's like, he's in charge and he's dominating the room. I'm like, why am I viewed as being overstepping when I speak my voice? Whereas a man is viewed as like doing what he should be doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like sort of bringing more attention to like subtle misogyny, which is sort of like what you were talking about, is like the labels that are put on you and just like the things I feel like don't make you question whether it's misogyny or not. Like it's so like ingrained in our society that it's sort of like some things you don't even think about.
And it becomes an afterthought as well. You think of it later and you're like, wait, that wasn't great.
Yeah.
The other one, I think, again, is completely unrelated, but like catcalling and like street harassment is so normalized.
Oh,
And it's like, I almost expect it. Like, you're like, oh, I like, you hear a beep go past and you're like, oh, they're beeping at me. Like, chill, whatever. And
Someone
like,
yells something at
and
me.
I've
Like,
and
Yeah.
especially
Annoying.
like a lot of my friends are guys naturally, and you speak to them about it and they're like, oh, that doesn't happen, or well, I've never had that experience, or it never happens when you're around me. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm around you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we actually got to talk about that subject in my last lecture for gender and sexuality, was catcalling. And even just the way you react to catcalling is sort of judged. Like, I feel like there's a desired reaction to being catcalled, which is just
I
insane
think
to me.
people expect that you're gonna like it,
Yeah,
and that
and
it's
but-
an honor to be catcalled.
And also, like, if you are quiet and you don't react, then it's sort of like, okay, like, she's handled that well. Whereas, like, if you react and sort of, like, shout back or get angry, then it's like, oh my God, she's so, like, over dramatic, or, like, why is she reacting? Or, like, why is she even giving it attention? When it's just, like, why are we, like, judging the reaction of a woman in, like, a dangerous situation rather than, like, shedding light on, like, the man who's actually doing the act?
It's when you see the videos like on TikTok where a woman started filming because they keep talking to them, and then all the comments are like, she should have just said no, she should have just walked away, blah 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 blah. It's like, no, she did the right thing.
Yeah.
She got her camera out, she was filming the interaction, so if anything had happened she would have proof of it.
Yeah, and or even
Like-
just like, because in the moment I feel like a lot of people sort of tense up, whereas like I'm known to just be like, oh, no thanks, or like, oh, sorry, and sort of just like the language, whereas like the exact videos that you were talking about, like people in the comments be like, yeah, but why are you saying thank you? Or like, yeah, but you said sorry.
you're trying not
so,
to
like,
get killed. Like,
it's like,
yeah.
oh my gosh, like, yeah, just the reactions that you give is so judged.
I get that. Yeah.
I feel like, I think my go-to is like just a side eye, or like I roll my eyes at them.
Yeah.
Like if it's not dangerous, I'm just like, okay,
I'll
you
just
did wrong.
ignore it, and then if they keep bothering me, I'll just yell at them.
Yeah. I
Which is
ignore it.
Scary,
Fair.
because I know the risks with that, but
Mhm.
like, what can you do at some point?
Yeah.
Personally, I want to see bit cliche. I want to see women in more positions of power.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What is the official term here? Not president, prime minister.
Mhm.
Prime ministers, presidents, queens.
Mhm.
I want to see more CEOs that are women.
Yeah. Mhm.
More CISOs that are women. Just generally women in higher power.
Yeah. Definitely.
And also that women who hold those positions of power don't get accused of sleeping their way to the top.
Mhm.
Because
And more diverse women as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining me today.
Thank you.
And the news story for the day is Manchester United and England goalkeeper and sports personality of the year, Mary Earps, is to become the first women's footballer to get a Madame Tussauds waxwork after winning the public vote. The attraction marks the Lionesses' run to the Women's World Cup final. Congratulations, Mary Earps.
Congrats.
Woo.
If you've got a topic you want us to discuss, drop us a message on Instagram at officialuom and mention Manchester Voices. Our jingle was created by student Maisie Illul.